Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House, and you can find us at YouTube at Joey143Jenny. I hope you'll subscribe and share. We're really trying to get 200 subscribers by the end of February, so I hope you can help make that goal for us. Anyway, so today I'm back at the Peacock Journal, and I just wanted to share a few things that I've kind of worked on, done a lot of fussy cutting. I also copied the back of some of the vintage postcards that I have and just added a reinforcement to the top with some digital, that's Rachel's, and some scrapbook paper that was a little bit neutral. This one, you know, I do a lot in, with gardening and botanicals and things like that. So this one will be kind of neutral for that. And then this was just some scrapbook paper that came out of a tablet that I had. So anyways, yeah, so I just took some, photocopied the backs of some postcards to use, and I'm hoping I'll find one or two to use in the Peacock Journal. So I'll set those aside for now. And just a reminder of some of the digitals that I'm using in this journal. Of course, I'm using lots of Rachel's Roxy Creation Blue Kit background. I'm using some of the Junk Journal Studio vintage patterns and textiles. And then these wonderful different Peacock digitals that I have. The Secret Helper. This one is the one that's a little bit deeper, Vintage by Me. So pretty. And then another very pretty one from Adamo Prints. I'm using that one too. So that was just a reminder to you what I'm using. If any of those are something that you think you'd like to do, go on over and support their Etsy shops. So another thing I did was I got out a couple of my ephemera journal, so to speak, and basically what I've done with these, and this is a really fun way to experiment and use up some things that you don't normally use in journals. So these are some like this is a scrapbook paper that I wouldn't normally use in a lot of my things, and then I just wanted to Mod Podge the whole thing to see if that gave it any depth and strength, and of course it did. And then I just wanted to, inside, I tried out a bunch of stencils. I just wanted to try, what is it, does it work better to sew in some of the different papers that I use, the vellum or whatever, to keep these in, what works best. So there was some trial and error for sure. But this is where I keep a lot of my different ephemera. So I thought I'd flip through because I'm hoping that there'll be things that I can use in this journal as well. But I need to make at least two more because they're just getting crazy. And one specifically I need to make just for stamps. You can see my stamps are getting very unorganized. I have them on this page by category, and I like it that way. Some people do it by color. I like it by category, so it's easy for me to find. If I want a bird one, I know where the birds are. But you can see here, these are some that are still on the paper, which is super fun. Like that would be a really neat journal card, just to back it and use it as a journal card. So some of these I don't want to take off the backing, and then some of them just need reorganized, obviously. Okay, so that's that one. That has a lot of miscellaneous. This one I was my second attempt. Again, another piece of scrapbook paper that I wouldn't normally use. This is out of a, I don't even know what that's out of. I think that's out of the front cover of a magazine, and I glued it upside down. So that's okay, because it's just my ephemera holder. And then here I just practiced some collage. Some of this is out of a garden magazine and different things, just to get some practice. Put a little bit of lace again here, and then used again inside some of scrapbook paper that I don't normally use, and then worked on some different stamps and and different things like that. So this one is primarily my butterflies and birds. It still needs really organized, but I like to go through it periodically to remind myself what I have, and you know, to use. And then here's just some extra little things back here that I have. So what I need to do is just make an ephemera pack for specific things that I just keep shoving in one or the other. So, and then I have animals back in here too. Anyways, I didn't see any peacocks, but I think I'm going to use probably butterflies, and I'll definitely use some stamps. Today I want to get this glued down onto some paper to make a journal card. I think I'm going to put it on this one. Another thing I want to do is make a trifold of these three ladies to put in this peacock journal. I just thought they were beautiful. Another thing I wanted to show you is something that I do is I'll look through books that I'm cutting up or use, like my glue books or whatever, and I'll just look for different phrases that I like or that I find interesting, you know, and I will glue them onto one page. Usually it's a coffee dyed or tea stained or something like that page, and then I have a copy of it, and then I can just cut it out and use those phrases as I want to. I mean, you can buy phrases. I know Tim Holtz has his phrases. Many people do, or you can use stamps to do that. But I just find this fun to do anyways, and so, you know, and it gives some dimension to it as well. So I just wanted to share that. I was running across that as I was going through some stuff. And then also I thought what I'd put in this journal, this is a linen little, I want to say it's a dress or scarf. I don't think it's a full tablecloth, but it's really beautiful. And so I just put it on my printer and took a copier and took a picture of that. And I'm going to use that in the journal as well because the colors are so pretty, and the way that the plumes come out reminds me of a peacock as well. And then I found this, and I'm trying to put a few little green things in. I don't know if you can see that in the journal, just to kind of give it a little bit of pop of different colors. So I'll probably use that. And then this is just my glue page. So without further ado, what I'd like to do is get started. One thing, here's an extra postcard thing that I had, and this is out of one of the digitals. And so what I thought I would do is glue this postcard. Oh, I ran out of glue. Let me grab another glue real quick. Carry on. While I find my glue stick. Here it is. I ran out of glue yesterday. Hope I don't jostle the phone. Okay. So, yeah, I just thought I would glue this down on the back of that. And then decorate it a little bit later. Right now, I'm just kind of making like ephemera bases just to feel like I've gotten something accomplished for this journal. This is the fun part, but I've gotten distracted a little bit with some other things. So, all right, let's see here. This goes that way, so I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to just add this down here. Yeah, that'll be nice. And then what I'll do is I will, I got a little bit of glue on there, is I'll ink it, decorate it, and it'll be ready to go. It'll be it's a nice thick journal card, and you can write on the back. And then as you can see, it's not exactly the same size. I'm not really concerned about that because once I ink it, it'll all be fine. Okay, one down. Yay. Okay, so then the next thing I wanted to do is this one. And I am going to use I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to use my water pen. Again, I got this at probably Hobby Lobby, or I might have gotten it on Amazon, I don't know. But I probably got it at Hobby Lobby. And it's just filled with water. And then then you can just use it to outline what it is you want to tear out of a napkin. I bet it would probably work as well on tissue paper, things like that. Now, I won't use this entire, I think I put too much water, but I won't use this entire plume because the little spot that I want to do isn't that big. And so now I've got all this left, so that's fun. Fun. Okay. Get that out the way. And what I did on this one is I just folded it in thirds and then folded it again. And so basically what I'm going to do is I want this middle section. All right, where's the lid to my pen? Here it is. And let me get this water kind of tidied up a little bit. Okay, so I really just want this middle section here. So I think what I'm going to do is just glue that entire middle section and then let this fall where it falls, you know. So let me get here. It might be helpful getting camera here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do is just glue that middle section. And then you could also, this is a fun one to do. I've seen other people do this and they make like little journal cards out of it, like one big journal card. You could also put like, you know, one of those postcards on top of here, and then it all folds out on the back. You know, can kind of do that. All right. Just gently push that down on the glue. Okay, make sure I'm all glued down. I'm all glued down. So now what I'm going to do is set that aside to dry, and then I'll go back and I'll trim it off. So we'll be all good to go with that one. Okay, so that one's almost done as far as a base goes. I might add something to it in a little bit. Then what I was thinking with this one is a trifold. So, you know, kind of a trifold for a, just a journaling card. Like, we'll tuck it in a pocket. So I think what I'll do is I'll go this whole width of the paper. I'm just going to tear it a little bit here. Okay. And then I think I'm going to tear this down first because they're not exactly even. You know, they're not all the same size. So I think I'm going to tear them down first. Then fold my paper accordingly once I get them glued on. So, but anyways, yeah, I thought this would be really a fun little addition to the book, to the journal. And I don't know where these ladies came from. I'd have to look. It's an it's a digital that I purchased quite a long time ago. So, and I apologize. I'm not super, well, I try to be organized, but I haven't been in the past. I just have purchased them, download them, go to town. But here's some other ones that come with this kit. So I think if you search Victorian ladies, you will probably find these ladies. And I'm going to use several of these in the journal because I just think they're so pretty. Yeah, I just think they're so pretty. I love this one. This one will definitely go in the journal. Yeah, so I thought these ladies would look really sweet in a trifold. I might move her to the middle. And then I also thought what I would do is go ahead and round the corners of each of them, just to make it look a little bit more finished off. I've been fussy cutting, watching TV with Joey, and so I've left my little trash thing in there, in the living room. Speaking of watching TV, we watched a very interesting documentary, so to speak, the other day called, I hope I get this right, The Last Blockbuster. It was really an interesting documentary. It was a very sweet, kind of goes through the history of Blockbuster, how it came about, you know, basically when videos came out. I mean, I won't give the whole thing away, but, you know, I know here we had a lot of mom and pop video stores. Gosh, I can remember even when I was pregnant with my youngest daughter way back in the day, you know, 30 plus years ago. We had looked at purchasing a little video store. It was teeny tiny. It was a teeny tiny one. And the big seller for me was it was a video / donut store. So, and like I said, I was pregnant, so that would have been, you know, ideal for me. But anyway, so it talks about mom and pops, and it talks about what happened when Blockbuster came on the scene. And then it talks about what happened when Netflix and other streaming came on the scene. Well, there happens to be one Blockbuster left. And it talks about how it's maintained, you know, its video store and in the community, and what it means to the community. So it's really an interesting and sweet, and it brings back a lot of memories. So if you you know, used to go to the video store, like we used to take, I mean, I can remember taking my kids. We had a local video store that I'm just finding in the middle here so I can place her in the middle. We had a local video store that had free children's videos. So you would go and, you know, you would get your video, whatever you wanted to watch that evening, and then you would be able to let the children go and pick out, you know, one each, even, you know, because we had two little girls, and then they would be able to each pick out a video, and that was fun. And then, you know, if we hit it rich that week, we'd even let the girls get candy or, you know, popcorn or something to take home, which it's just the Orville Redenbacher popcorn, which we had plenty of that at home anyways, but there was just something about, you know, getting it at the video store. Yeah, so anyways, it talks about a lot of things and a lot of memories that people had, and, you know, back with VHS and then with the CDs or DVDs. Personally, I can remember when DVDs came out, and I just thought that is never going to take. Nobody is going to want to reinvest in all this other stuff. It's never going to take. I felt the same way when CDs came out versus the cassette player. And at that time, I still had 8 tracks, you know, especially Elvis. So let me just wipe that off a little bit. So anyways, yeah, it just makes you kind of, you know, you get a chance to reminisce and about what that was like. And if you're, you know, if you don't remember that time, if you're not old enough to remember that time, it just kind of gives you a little history lesson of how everything came about, you know. And so it's just a really neat little documentary if you get a chance to watch it. Okay. I like how that's looking. Now what I want to do is find my little, if I can reach it. Okay. Squeegee guy. Just make sure everybody's down nice. Get some of those bubbles out from the back. Okay. Get my glue grab it away. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it. And I'm hoping they all fold in neatly. And it appears as though they will. So that's pretty awesome. Oh, that one's going to be off center a little bit. Let it come up without ripping. It's a risk. Of course, the bottom is sticking, but oh yeah, it did. Okay. Awesome. Okay, let's see if we can recenter. I might need a little bit more glue on it. Go around the block with it real quick. Oh gosh, now I've got glue everywhere. So, lesson, it may be best to, I don't know, measure, I don't know, I hope this isn't shaking too much, but measure and then see where to put it, or you can do it the way I did, fold it, and then maybe put one at a time and see, or, you know, put one and then see. So that one's on the edge too, but I'm not risking it. I love it. And then you have all this journaling space. I love it. Perfect size to tuck into a pocket. But I still got a little bit of glue residue from flipping it, you know. What's all this business? Okay. Yeah, a little bit of residue from setting that on that glue page, but that'll dry and roll off. It's starting to roll off as it is now. I'll get it more when it dries. Okay, I am gonna go ahead and just for continuity of the whole thing, just give it a little bit of dusting with the vintage photo on the edges. Anyways, that film was very nostalgic for me in many ways. Oh, I just used to love my girls would sit in their bean bags or make a pallet with all of the blankets, and they'd sit in the, lay in the living room, and they'd watch all their shows, and, you know, it would be a treat because it wasn't something that we normally would, you know, do, is just sit in front of the TV all day. But oh, like if it was raining or we were expecting snow or something. Oh, it was just so fun. Be a pajama day and lots and lots of fun. So that was really sweet to, you know, and then people would give on this show, they would give like their memories, and it you know, brought back other memories. So anyways, I hope you get to see it. It's on Netflix, I believe. Oh yeah, it is on Netflix because there was a kind of a tongue-in-cheek about how Blockbuster is no longer because of Netflix. You know, somebody had said that, and then it was a Netflix special. Anyways. Okay, let's see. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So now we find a little spot for it in the journal. So there's another one done. So far, and this one's dry. We can go ahead and let's see if that was a pocket. That'd be cute. I'm trying to decide if I want to round the corners of this or not. Sometimes I feel like it makes it a nice, just kind of finishes it off. Let's try this size. Another thing I've learned is if you have something that's the right size but it's having a hard time getting into the pocket, that you've designed for it. Rounding the corners makes it a lot easier. Somehow, you know, the sharp corners just don't slide in as easy. So, oh, while I'm thinking of it, let's put a stamp on this. And maybe, I don't know, let's put something on that. We'll leave it, some of it to journal on. But did you hear that little, I don't even know what that was that went by. I think it was a motorcycle or something. I don't know. Again, I've got a little stamp thing here. But what am I looking for? I'm looking for my stamp that has, it's usually right here, but I've taken it somewhere for some reason. I'm looking for my stamp that has a script on it. And where is it? Oh well, let's just do this. And then I'll reach over here and I'm going to grab the ephemera pack that has my stamps in it. And I don't have a Peacock stamp. I know that. But maybe we can find a pretty tree or something like that. What is this? Denmark. That's pretty. Let's put that down. And maybe one more. Okay, those are all sports. And I just purchased these. I don't know if you remember, I purchased these from Etsy recently. Excuse the noise, but let's get these out and just see if there's one that would be also a good companion to that one. That's pretty, even that first one. I don't know if it's gonna work well. No, it doesn't really go, and I do want to use that one. I like the color of it. This one's pretty. Beautiful, Mississippi. So that might work. Yeah, let's use those. So see, these would be ones that I need to, you know, I don't want to keep opening this pack every time I want to look at a flower stamp. I want to have them displayed in an ephemera thing. So I need to work on that. And my thought was to use Kathy Holden's stamp fabric to make this little ephemera pack, or ephemera booklet. All right, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, I'm going to turn this, I'm going to fold this because I don't want it to get gooey like I did with the other one. I think what I'm going to do is do that one first. That, and then we'll do this Denmark one. Now these have been canceled, but I am going to put a little bit of cancel over it just for kicks. And I have this little black, I think I've showed you this before, I've had it forever, no idea where you can get them now, but I think you can get something similar. You know, I don't know what I'm doing now is I'm just cleaning around that edge because I got a little crazy with it. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm going to put a little bit more cancel stamp down. There we go. Now I'm just going to stamp that off. Put it back in my little thing, so at least I know where that's at. I don't know where that other one went, but at least I know where that's at. Okay, so we're making progress. So this will still be a little journal card. Now it just has some additional textural. I wonder, what about maybe a tiny little butterfly or something? These I just recently fussy cut, so they haven't been put away. It makes it a little bit more convenient to grab. I was looking at this one. I struggle, I don't know if anybody else does, but I struggle with these sideways butterflies, you know, where to put them. But I think that one's going to look good there. And I'm just going to buff out that white around it. I just don't like that. And a quick dab. Okay. Put that right there. All right, so then we have that one. Cute. All right, so far so good. So we've got 2, and then we have this one. Put things back really quick. I want to dry out. All right, so now we have this one. And what I'd like to do is cut that back. Try it this way, make it a little easier on myself. And I'm going to try really hard not to cut the paper. One way I'm going to do that is to bevel my scissors out away from the paper. Of course, you know I had to take my glasses off for this. It's almost lunchtime, and for some reason today I'm absolutely starving. Yesterday I said to Joey, we're not on our schedule yet since his surgery. We've always been on a pretty specific schedule with both, you know, before I retired, both of us working, and then we kept the same schedule for Joey, and then I would just follow his schedule, of course, just so that we were, you know, in tandem on that, you know. So, but since this surgery, it's really, you know, kind of like how it feels, because, you know, he gets up a couple of times in the night with his hip bothering him, and he readjusts, and then he goes and sits in the living room and puts his feet up, or he, part of his exercise is to walk, and so he'll walk around the house a little bit, and then come back to bed. And of course, you know that I'm away. Oh, this is me. I think, oh, what if he gets out there and he falls and I'm asleep, and he, you know, I mean, that's just me. And I know he won't. And plus, not to mention that, but he has incredible upper body strength. So even if he did fall, he's very strong to help get himself back up. But still, in my mind, I think, oh, what if something happens? I'm a what if girl. I always have been. I don't know where it comes from. Always have been. But anyways, so so we're up a couple of times in the night, and then I always am, you know, try to do whatever needs to be done while I'm awake. So, you know, while I'm up, like, do you need more water? Do you need another ice pack? And so we're both just trying to make it through. So then we kind of get to a point where we want to conk out early. Well, last night I said, hey, let's try to stay up late so we can, later, we're not late people anyways, but so that we can kind of get on a schedule. And we did, but then, you know, we were up a couple of times in the night, so then I thought this morning, let's get back on schedule. I get up at 4:30, start the coffee, and do my Bible time. And then by 8 o'clock, I was so sleepy. So I laid down till about 8:40. And then I jumped up like I was late for work. You ever feel that before? Jumped up like I was late for work. Jump in the shower. Get ready. Start laundry. You know, start doing this and that. And here we are. now I'm starving. It's lunchtime. So what I'm going to do is I'll do this off camera when I can hold it right up to my face and, you know, edge really well with the scissors. But if I did that now, you wouldn't be able to see it. But okay, so then what we do is we'll decorate this, and then this would open up and all this space to journal on. Isn't that fun? Now, I have seen on other videos where, so like what you would do is you would, you know, cut this off like a tag, and then you just put it in your pocket and it looks like a tag. But then when the person brings it out, they see, oh my gosh, it's journaling space. I also thought a butterfly would look good on this one too. So let's look. One thing I forgot to get, see if I can find it real fast. But one thing I forgot to get was I wanted to get, that's too big, some music paper. I wanted to make a few things with music paper. I don't know about that one either. I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling, but it is. There's a little blue one in here. That one might be too small. Yeah, that's too small. Okay, well, let's see if there's one in this other thing, and then also maybe a label on here. Okay. Let's get this here. I don't really want to cut anything else out. That's all right. I'll hold on to it. Ooh, look at that one. It might be too big. It's beautiful though. These are just ephemera pieces I probably got in a pack at one of the hobby stores, maybe Michael's or something, I don't know. I love butterflies, and I use so many of them that, you know, I buy packs when I see some. And that's fun. That's way too big, but that's fun. Always think of my friend Kelly when I see a dragonfly. All right, so far this is the winner, and I guess we'll go with it. I don't want to put a whole lot of thought to it, or I'll never get it done. And I really would like to get this done, not because I want it to be over, but because it's been on my mind for so long that I want to see it finished. Now this one, I think I'm going to use the art glitter glue. It's pretty thick, this little guy here. Got all the gunk off of here. Okay. All right. What to have for lunch? I don't know. Maybe turkey sandwiches. I don't know if you saw my video from the quiche. We have quiche left over from dinner last night. I could eat that again. That sounds delish. And what else do we have? So I could do that. Could maybe heat up some soup or something. These are the labels, mostly from Love Junk Journal, Tracy Fox labels. And I use them on everything. I even have used them to organize my, I probably should have put that behind there, to organize my, there, that's good. All of my stuff in my craft room. One day I'll give you a tour when I can walk through here. But anyways, so yeah, I've even used these to label a lot of the things in my craft room because they're so wonderful. I think I might put a number on there. Oh yeah, there's my stomach, and I'm sorry. I wish you could control stuff like that. But I can't. Where are my numbers? What is going on with me? Here they are. Like, I feel like I'm organizing, and all of a sudden I can't find something. So I'll use these. And I don't know, what number should we put on? Today's the 5th, I think, or 6th. Let's just put, let's just put like number 2. Number 3. I like that. Number 3. And now what I usually do is put this on like a little acrylic block, but I'm just going to put it right on that. And I do that sometimes. Get it nice and loaded up. And then I'm going to kind of go around here and make sure I didn't get any on there. It looks good from this side. Now just to get it straight. Hopefully in the middle. Yeah, good enough. All right. Where'd I have that? Oh my goodness. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. We are getting there. Okay. And I'm the worst at stickers, but what I normally do is pull back one side like that, and I know it probably leaves such a weird... I want that up there. I think I want it up here. Anyways, it leaves like sometimes a little weird crease. I feel like it still needs something, but I don't know what. I'll have to think on it. I feel like it needs something. Anyways, we got that one done. And this one put together. And this put together. Now there was one more thing that I wanted to do real quick. And that is, let's see, where's the rest of that paper? Here it is. This coloring book. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I found this page. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am just going to from about here down, I'm just going to glue the living daylights out of this thing. And I'm going to adhere that. And I was thinking about sewing around it, but I'm kind of nervous with it being so fragile. That coloring book, very old coloring book. It has some really neat pictures in it. Some scribbles too, you know, but okay. Let's do this. I'm trying to get as close to the bottom as possible so I don't have to trim too much. I would like to keep that rough side. Yeah, got it. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it over to do this. Always want to do this on, whenever you use this, do it on the strongest side. I've learned that from a mistake that I have made by doing it like over a napkin or something, and then you rip the whole napkin up. Okay, let's see if I can get this off. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but we'll see if we can't figure out a way to put it in the journal. Still a little bit wet. Might not tear. Oh, I'm so impatient. I'm doing it anyways. Ugh. Brother. That's neat. That little teensy tiny is coming up. Get this down in here. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. I love that art. Ooh, oh my gosh. I love that art glitter glue. Oh boy, what I've done. Get over there. Oh my goodness. That art glitter glue is not as forgiving as the Uhu because it dries quick. But let's see if we can salvage the... Maybe it won't. Oh yeah, that makes it nice and makes that mistake nice and bold now, doesn't it? Wow, this paper takes the vintage photo, the inks, the distress inks so well. More than what you would think. It's kind of like very, very fragile construction paper. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Maybe put some strengthener over it, some washi or something.